Alright folks, welcome back. Working on a Honda here. It's a CRV. It's got the big 2.4, I think. I don't remember what year it is. Maybe it's 2010. We'll look at it when we put it down. But this one has some EVAP trouble. It throws a code. I looked at this the other day for the guy. Hey, it's that guy. Looked at it the other day for the guy, hence the new clips in here. Because it's throwing a code for the canister vent valve being stuck, I believe was the code definition, canister vent valve stuck. So I check it out, and indeed, the canister vent valve works just fine. It opens and it closes and it clicks and clacks and does everything a vent valve does. However, the computers are stupid. You know, they only know what they're programmed to know. And how it deciphers whether or not the canister vent valve is stuck is by looking at the fuel tank pressure sensor, which is up here. And it pulls it under a vacuum, the tank, with the vent valve open. Theoretically, it should just be able to pull vacuum right through the vent valve, through the tank, and, you know, burn it down the engine. That's kind of the layman's way of putting it to you. However, it starts to see some negative pressure start to build in the tank. Some vacuum starts to build in the tank, so it can only assume that our little vent valve here, where it plugs in here, isn't functioning. It's stuck shut. However, this has a restriction in the canister itself. And how do I know it's not like in the filter or in the, you know, the fresh air tube or anything like that? Well, it's simple. I just unhook everything and I put my big old lips up on the canister, and you can barely blow through it. So there's some kind of restriction in the canister. As they say downstate, I can't get that undone. Long story short, as they say, we got a new canister for it. And I thought I'd bring it along, even though I didn't bring it along on the diagnosis. You just gotta trust me. I can't even get the hoses unhooked again. It's only been 2 or 3 days. We had to wait for the parts. I got a brand new one right from Honda. Now, looking at this, there is a bulkhead connector, if you will, that plugs in the vent valve and the fuel tank pressure sensor, which I didn't think would be so difficult to unplug. But let me move you folks. Let's see if I can't get this fuel tank pressure sensor here. And we'll get this thing down because we have to transfer some of the parts over. Oh, there we go. So there's our fuel tank pressure sensor plug and our vent valve plug. And then it appears to be one fresh air hose. We don't want to break that sucker right there. This little vacuum line here, so to speak. We'll leave that to the side. I don't know. Yeah, we might have to pull this whole bracketry down. So we may have to unhook this big bulkhead connector anyway. So we'll unhook it right there, if you will. Yes, ma'am. So that's all unhooked. All that stuff's unhooked. We have one more vacuum line up here. Let's see if I can't reach that. And that'll get you guys up here to have a little gander at everything. It'd be a lot nicer if I had a light, I guess. There, I think. Oh, I got one more hose. Okay, so we've got the tank side unhooked. We've got the vent side unhooked. Our little fresh air intake there. And the purge, everything's unhooked. We need to carry on breaking off the rest of these plastic tabs. The other day, I only had the very back half down here. The 3 tabs I touched there originally all broke, so we're going to see about getting the rest of these off. These are some of the OGs. We'll end up more than likely replacing them. Hard to say. See if we can't get worked underneath them. Oh, I think that one may have actually survived. Now it's got 3 broken fingers. 3 broken fingers. Gosh, when you want them to break, they don't. There. All right. That's very gently out of the way. Now we got this rusty mess. Oh boy. He's a rusty turd. I tell you what, so it's on this whole bracket here. These are the two bolts that actually hold the canister to the bracket. So, we get a 12 mil. These are all, well, I guess there is a little access there. We could probably get some WD up in there. There's a hole by that one. Yeah, let me get some penetrating oil. That way we can give it about 4 seconds to penetrate, and then we'll whack on it with an Ugga-Dugga gun. Now, according to the critics, if we spray this on there, these bolts should technically fall out. So let's see, we're gonna give this a very liberal douching up inside this hole. Hopefully we're pointing it right in the right direction here. We'll just spray a bunch of it anyways. And then this one back here, I don't know if we can get up in there. Oh man, there's no access hole to that one. So that one there is completely encapsulated. And then I think there's one up in here. We'll kind of give that a shot sideways over to its general vicinity. Hopefully we're getting a little bit of it on what we need to. It's dripping out of frame either way. Okay, now that we've given it ample time to soak down, we'll stick our 12 mil on there, give it the old whack, make it rain. Oh wow, WD-40 would not have done that, let me tell you. Let's just see how one comes out that hasn't been penetrated. Ten times harder. Amazing. Amazing. The power of Kroil. This has got some kind of fancy lock system, keep it from falling down. Them guys at Honda, they think of everything. They think of everything at Honda. Okay. Well, let's see here. Let's move this to the side. Here, sock it off where that falls on the floor. Set this little guy up here. The ultimate test. One with Kroil, one with WD. One drop, that's all it needs. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. We'll give it a little extra. Let them penetrate for almost no time. Why? Because we got jobs to do. That one's spinning out. That one's spinning out. Can we hold them with anything? See, they go down here inside the box. They're square. Quit being so square, man. You're such a square, Fogey. Let's see if we can hang on to this one. Oh, I don't know if that was that or my knuckles. This is the WD-40 glove. Oh, I went to give it the No Mercy or Mercy. My vice grips popped off. Get back a hold of that little guy. Well, WD-40 for the win, let me tell you. Slid right off. Truth be told, I thought they were both gonna break, so I bought new bolts. I'm a thinker. There's one new bolt. Or one used bolt. Now let's see what the Kroil one does. Probably not a fair test because I can't get on this one as well. I have to use some needle nose vice grips. Try to keep her shoved down there good. Come on, man up. There you go. Let's use these. We're gonna modify this canister somewhat. Wow, that's strong stuff. I thought we could just chop right through it. I want to be able to get down in here with a regular pair of vice grips. Ah, mother lover. I don't know if I... Let's turn this a little. What a stupid video. I'll try again with the needle nose. Not a lot to get a hold of down here. I can just get a hold of the head of it, you know, but... Now they just instantly pop. Frick! I got an idea. Sharpen this up with a chisel. See if we can't get rid of this web. Wow, that's some freaking great plastic you got, Honda. I mean, like, real good. Real good, Honda. Okay, now I think we'll be good. Let's spin that thing back a little bit the way it needs to go. Get it lined up. Okay, now we can get a regular pair. But now that the Kroil's had so much more time to work, now it's really not fair. Let's see, this jaw's a little bit thinner on this side. Let's see if that holds it for us. Should zip right off there now. Won't even budge. Kroil sucks. What we should do is just spray it with some WD-40 and just let it fall off. But we'll spray it with some electrons. Let a little current flow through that thing, see how she likes it. Truth be told, no penetrating oil really works. Maybe that was the WD-40 one. I'm getting a whiff of it now. I don't know which one that was. It doesn't really matter. Because the only thing that works in New York is heat. Heat it and beat it. There, that works now. If I'm being perfectly honest, that's what works the best. You know me, old Mr. Honest. That was my nickname back in high school. Not really. Ooh, that's warm. Somebody just heat that thing up. Let's see. Stick that there. Wicka wicka. There we go. Now she should come out of there. There's bolt number 2. I still don't know which penetrating oil is the best, but really nobody cares. Okay, let's finish taking this thing apart. Let's see here, folks. Not sure how this all comes apart. This looks like it might click off. Give her a couple clicks. We've got to get our vent valve out of here. Okay, there's that. Just a little cover. Had some little tangs in there. And I imagine this baby probably just pulls out. Probably just O-ringed up in there. And she just O-ringed, so it's your vent valve. She is just O-ringed up in that joint. Let's set this down here out of the dirt. And then we need to save, because we got an OEM canister. So it doesn't come with anything extra on it. I think some of the aftermarket ones they showed came with vent valves and such. But they were a lot more money than the OEM. And then we have to salvage the fuel tank pressure sensor. And this I have no idea how that comes out. There's a little gray piece under it. Let me get a pick. That might be like some kind of lock or something. I don't want to break it, that's for sure. This one has me perplexed. Let's look at it from the back side. It'll give you a little more insight. Oh, it does. It gives us more insight. Little gray lock tabs. See if we can't spread those apart. If I end up getting this, I'll show you. Obviously, I'll show you. So I just released a couple gray lock tabs on this little gray apparatus here. Must be like a little fork, like a brake line lock. Is my guess. Get underneath it. You guys with me? Who's with me? I see all three of you. There we go. So that's what that is. It's a little gray locky doodad. And then this should probably slide up out as an O-ring. Would be my assumption. And there it is. There's our fuel tank pressure sensor. And this is the hose, the vent hose that went to atmospheric air. Oh, we're blowing out the pressure sensor now. I can't even demonstrate to you now without plugging that hole, but you can barely blow through this box. She plugged tight like a tiger. You gotta trust me. That should have brought you along a diag, because now nobody believes me. Here's our brandy new one from Honda. We'll stick her on the bench. We'll keep it dirty because it drives people bananas. It's not gonna hurt anything though, trust me. We're gonna wipe this O-ring off a little bit. We got some Sil Glide. It's like KY for cars. That's their slogan actually. We will lubricate the O-ring very nicely. Oh crap, who remembers which way that thing went? This guy doesn't. That was only 30 seconds ago too. Oh, let's see, where's our wires? That'll tell us. Or I can just rewind the video. Looks like it went the other way. Must have went this way. Right? Oh, he's such an idiot. How can he not remember that kind of stuff? It goes on here. This wire is all natural, pointing this way. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. We'll put the clip back in it, so that's good. So that's happy. Everybody's happy there. We got this here vent valve. We'll give that O-ring a little wipe off. Get some more of the CKY, we'll call it car KY. CKY will abbreviate it. Give her a little lube of love. Put the lid back on it. Move that baby up. We'll slip this back in. Anybody remember which way this thing went? Gosh, this guy doesn't remember anything. I think it only goes one way. Because it's got a big tab, little tab, you know? Click. And click. Has little lock tabs here and here. Give it a little pat on your leg for good luck. And that clicks on, and there's a canister back in action. Now we can blow through this one. My other ones, when I blow through it, I'd go like this. That's what my face looked like, in case anybody was wondering, because I couldn't simulate it because I didn't think about blowing through it prior to getting where we've gotten. They go wire wheel these. I'll send the other ones I got back from Honda. I didn't think for a minute they'd come undone, but thank goodness they did. Jug's getting almost empty. I'm gonna have to reach in, give her some of the never sneeze. Not like this thing's ever gonna come back apart again. Oh, these got handy dandy little holders. I guess if they slip right down in a very particular spot. That one doesn't want to go down in. Let me flippy flop them. They should be exactly the same part number. And they are. And we are going right side up, right? Goodness gracious, yes we are. This is right side up, that face the back, vents on that side. I just didn't want to get all Michael Jackson on the thing and just beat it. Just beat it. There's that one. So, there they are. They go in that direction. Longitudinally. It's not even a word, I don't think. Ironically enough, when you stick them in horizontally, they line up between those brackets also, and the front one fits just fine. The rear one though, like I say, felt like it was a little snug, so good thing we quit hammering. Caveman. Now that we have our bracket all cleaned up and polished, we will stick them back on there. Where'd the other nut go? Here, nut. There it is. That's a 12. Let's use the weak sauce so I can dug a gun. Clackety clack. Torque to spec. Plug in fuel tank pressure sensor. Plug in vent valve. And we gotta go stick it back up in there. We will be nice, even though nobody is ever going to take this down again, ever. Because the car might have, so looking at it, maybe it's last year he's taking it somewhere else to get the sticker, of course. So it might have another year in it before it breaks in half, so this is kind of pointless. A lot of people ask sometimes that you just kind of contradicted yourself. People ask me often in the comment section, why don't you use Never Seas? Why don't you put grease on that bolt? Because frankly, half that I work on is going to the junkyard in a year or two anyway, so nobody's taking this back apart, dude. I think people lose sight of that a little bit, which is understandable because not everybody lives in PRNY. Does anybody know where this goes? Let's try to put it around this area here. But here, our cars only last, a few years. You only get, because nobody takes care of them in the sense of, oil treating them to keep them to double their life expectancy, which it does, like proven fact. But for whatever reason, nobody does that. It's a hard sell. I think because everything else is so gimmicky in the world. The world is so full of lies and deceit that nobody really believes anybody anymore about anything. So when I tell somebody like, hey, you should oil spray your car, it'll last longer. Like, yeah, whatever, dude. I got some ocean front property in Arizona too, So whatever. I know the truth. You know the truth. It is what it is. They want their cars rot out. I don't care. I don't care. we're gonna just put them all in lightly here before we get all carried away. Where you at, baby? Okay, snug them babies up. Make sure everything looks right, yeah. No, no, no. Purgy. Purge. That one's lined up nice. Got your vacuum line. That goes to a little holder over here. That even indicates to us that we put the pressure sensor in correctly. Oh, somebody's better be lucky than good. That's on. A lot of moaning going on in this video. That one's on. Why does that wire seem stretched so tight? Oh, well, that's the way it was, because that's the way it is. We got to snug this baby up all the way, and that's it. We got another pointless video for you. There's one. Oh, there's two. There's number 3. We'll even put a little bit of anti-seize on these bolts to appease the crowd of people. Maybe the guy at Wilbert's will appreciate it someday. He's like, man, he's down here, he gets a gold mine, he finds this little canister. He's like, wow, I can't believe they never seize these. I'm so lucky. So this may be a blessing to somebody else, even though we know that this car is going to the crusher. Curious to know your guys' thoughts on why you think people in the Salt Belt area, not just the PRNY, but in the entire Northeast and other Salt Belt lying areas towards central the USA, why they don't seem to oil spray their cars. I just told you my theory, rather. I'd be curious to know what you guys say, because it seems to be the Canadians. They do it. They do it like we change oil. You know, everybody up there, you just oil spray your car. If you don't, you're an idiot, or you're from the United States. At least that's what the Canadians tell me. They don't call us idiots. They just, well, I mean, you do seem kind of idiotic if you take it. It's not even an investment. I don't want to say an investment because a car is anything but an investment. Here's a guy calling people idiots, and he puts that car out of the horse here with the shield. But yeah, let's say you spend, I mean, new cars are expensive. You're going to spend anywhere from $30,000 to, $120,000 for a new car here. If you're going to buy, a pickup truck, you're going to be pushing close to $100,000 on most vehicles I see sitting at the dealership. And then they buy them, and then they don't do anything but drive them through the salt and slop, and then, 12 to 13 years, the thing goes to the crusher. So it seems kind of silly to me to not do anything. In my opinion. How'd we get on this topic anyways? There, fixed. We'll get Mrs. O's opinion of our question. I've got 2 questions. First question, how dare you? That was my best Kelly Kapoor from The Office I could do. Our question is, Mrs. O, why do you think people don't oil spray or rust protect their cars when they know, like anybody who's over, let's say anybody who's had more than 3 cars in the PRNY, knows that their car is going to eventually succumb to rust. It's going to end up at Wilbert's. You pull the bath, you're going to drive it there because it still runs, but it's literally rotted in half. without me leading you to the answer, I think.
Are you gonna
I've already gave them my opinion.
I think, well, I think a lot of people don't know about it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think a ton of people don't know about it.
Let me ask you another question then based off that answer. Do you think after you've had your, for example, third car rot in half, do you think it would come to your mind like, dang it, I'm out X amount of dollars. It seems like there's somebody that could do something about this. And then I would get on my handheld computer device that we're always on.
I would think that you would think, I wish they would make cars so they don't rot out.
Okay.
That's what I would think that you would think. Not that
I can do something to be proactive.
If it seems like if there was something readily available that would prevent this, it would be very well known and obvious for everybody who lives in our area. But I don't think it is. And if you recognize, like, how long ago did you learn about it? You've been in this industry for how long?
But I've always thought, and I always tried a lot of gimmicky things. You remember your white Malibu?
Yes.
I remember putting rust proofing crap on that and trying the undercoat and seeing that always failed. It never worked. I tried undercoating multiple vehicles. I learned that you spray them with black asphalt undercoating. It sucks. This stuff's a gimmick. And then... Yeah,
and then it was
Josh's
parents' vehicles that you saw over, but you still were suspicious of that because you didn't know exactly how it would affect the vehicle. So you still, even though you knew it was there, you were suspicious and you were waiting to see, is this really worth it long term?
Correct.
And so...
And that's a great point you bring up, because where is Mr. Josh and his family from? What are their roots?
Canada?
Yeah, from Canada. And we just talked about the Canadians, how the Canadians spray their cars like we change our oil. And they think that we're idiots. So do you want to know what I told the people? What my thought was?
I also, I wasn't finished answering the question, but I also think that people, some people won't do it just because of the cost and you have to do it every year. And yeah.
So you're going to tell me you'll take the chance. You bought it.
Not me, but I just think that people. If somebody says, oh, like, if you think about it, lots of people don't take care of the vehicles because, whatever, it gets them to point A to point B. Who cares about anything else? Just give me point A, point B. I don't really need to take them out. They don't change your oil. You even have family members who do not maintain their vehicles very well, and you would think they would because of
You're talking about my sister?
Background.
Just say it. You're talking about my sister. It's not my responsibility.
I know, but you would think that, like, should be very obvious, take care of your vehicle, but I think people don't want to because it's not very fun to spend your money on a car undercoating or tires or brakes or oil or any of those things. But, if you can get, like, flashy lights or, a good sound system. People like entertainment, not responsibility.
Wow, you're such a mom. You know what I told them? I thought that people don't do it because we get lied to so much as a society. We get lied to in the news, we get lied to from our friends, we get lied to. Everybody lies to everybody.
Are you lying right now?
I'm lying to you right now. And I think there's so much gimmicky stuff. It's like, oh, take a pill, you'll get a 6-pack in 3 weeks. I ate the whole bottle. I don't even have a 6-pack yet. I didn't really. But there's stuff like that. It's like, oh, you want to be whoever. Take this pill, do this. Instant gratification.
Sure.
And it's all lies. It's all smokescreen people. It's all smoke and mirrors. Mm-hmm. And then I think that we think as a whole, like, yeah, right, this guy's going to spray my car for $200 with his magic oil. And, it's not going to rust out. So that's what I think. But we appreciate your thoughts.
I can see that, too.
You can see that, too?
Yes,
I didn't want to lead you into that.
I think that's another
We think everything's a gimmick. Like, it's probably somebody calling to lie to you about what's really wrong with their car. So, all right, well, good luck.
Goodbye.
Appreciate you.
Love ya.
For anyone interested, the Honda 2422 classic coat canister vent solenoid stuck closed. So I plugged this in so we could erase our codes. So we'll do that. We'll go shut the switch off and we'll find out what year the Honda is. 2009 it says. It's got the leather. me shut the key off here. And then we'll go hit OK, and we'll turn the key back on, and all should be well in the world. Turn it back on. And now we have no more codes. Let's make sure things look like they're working. See if we can find some kind of fuel tank pressure on here. Make sure that is in at or around 0. It is in at and around 0. 0.5 inches of the water. Canister solenoid is off. And that's that, folks. I'm not going to bother running through testing it because I'm 100% confident in my diagnosis. Not to mention that this video also took a hard left turn somewheres into a discussion, a one-sided discussion for the moment, soon to be two-sided as you go in that comment section. If you live in the Rust Belt, which some of you do, and some of you live in areas of the world in Europe where things are also quite rusty, and you comment about that you know, you also have rust and salt and stuff. So I'm curious to know what your thoughts are, or what your hesitation may be on rust proofing your investment, if you will, even though that's a bad word. Because cars are never an investment, rarely are an investment. Okay, there's that one guy who bought the 87 IROC and parked it in his garage, and now it's worth $800 more than it was when he bought it, but still they're a poor investment at best. But on your average daily driver junker, drive it for 12 years, take it to the scrapyard, what stops you from wanting to spray it? And we're going to use the hypothetical cost right now, which is, you know, most pickup trucks are about $200 to have them crowned or fluid filmed, at least here in our area. That's what they cost. So, you know, over your period of 10 years, it's a $2,000 additional fee. Of course, that goes up with inflation, and average about 2 to 4% a year, unless you live in 2023 where inflation's about 18% in 1 year ish. Anyhow, comment section, folks, let us know questions. Insta, Facebook, comments, concerns, you know what to do. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.